that you feel is in your physical heart. This is why it's critical that the verse I'm going to start with in that Peter is that we're casting our cares upon the Most High, because what? He cares for us.
Yes, he does.
This is why it's absolutely critical that you have a spirituality where you're getting before the Creator, and your spirituality don't mean that you have to be in service every week. It means that you have a relationship with the Creator, that you get on your face before Him, and that you're casting all of your worries, all of your pains, all of your cares, all of your aches, all of your hurts, on the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because He cares.
Come on, that's right.
He's the only one that really cares, somebody.
Come on now.
Your neighbor might be concerned, but they don't really care. Because most of us are be honest, we're too selfish to care about your problems when you know what, I'm going through something myself.
Come on, talk about
Come
it.
on, talk to me, y'all.
Come on with it.
Right?
You want it, come on. Yes, sir.
So the first thing we do is our relationships, your personal relationships. Who are you involved with? That's why I tell young people, don't rush to get in no relationships. I told my nephew that a couple weeks ago. Don't rush to get in no relationship. Because when you're rushing to get in a relationship, you're rushing to open up yourself to somebody else who might not qualify to have your heart in their hands.
Come on.
Because there's always somebody that's more in love in most relationships. Business relationships. Do not get in business with somebody that is not a mutual relationship. Where both parties are given the same. Because if not, then what's going to happen is somebody's going to get hurt. And when people get hurt, what do we do? Come on, y'all, talk to me. What do we do?
Lash out.
We lash out.
That's right. That's right.
Because you're hurt. You got to do something with the hurt. You can't hold it in.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's why the signs of when we're not healed is anger. You're just full of anger and rage.
Yeah.
It's like something. Woo, you ready to fight? Always ready to argue? Come on, somebody.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is what's going on with our people.
Yes.
We got to look at that video. I got to tell you about a video where this woman has a PhD, and she basically goes through all the scenarios of why we as African people in America are the way we are, with our thoughts and our actions. And it all deals with, there's post-traumatic, everybody can understand that there's post-traumatic stress after 9/11, which was a one-day event, but they can't understand that there's post-traumatic results that happen to generations based upon stuff that happened. And it not only happened on the African side, it happened on the Caucasian side. That's why you have so many Caucasians right now in society who they're not sensitive to the feelings of other people. So that's why you're revolt, you're protesting, you're doing all this stuff, and you ain't getting no results. Because they don't care. These are the same people that were children, will stand there and watching people get burnt to death and never shed a tear, sitting there smirking and smiling. And she said that's part of the post-traumatic stress that are on people. So your Rush Limbaughs and your Tommy Lawrence and all them, they're generational, their hearts have gotten hardened. They don't care about you. You say Black Lives Matter, they say, to who?
Exactly.
To who? So all the protests are for what? You're speaking to people that don't want to hear you. So to me, why take a petition to another person who can't do nothing? Oh, what needless pains we bear. I told y'all this was going to be hot. Grab your neighbor by the hand and say, this is hot for me. Grab him by the hand. Shake it a little bit. Wake him up.
I can't put my hand on it, but it's hot.
Come on, somebody. Oh, what needless pains we bear, all because we don't cast all of our cares to the Most High. So this, you know what? I was watching man, there's some people out here that are very educated, very heavy. I've been watching a guy named Greg Braden, and he has a video where they actually can measure. They measure the results of when you get a group of people together and they start praying, or they come in oneness. And everybody that's been in this temple, you remember when we used to have those prayer lines. We didn't realize what we were doing, but what we were doing, when you get a group of people, that's why that verse says, the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. Because when you get a group of people, even if they're evil, y'all, and they're all thinking the same thing, and they're all praying, what happens is they can measure, and they have things, I forget what they're calling in space, where they can actually measure they can measure the frequencies, and they saw that around 9/11 because more people were prayerful and one-on-one. The measurements were off the charts. They're usually within a certain area, but whenever there's catastrophe and a hardship and things that go, it's like it's measurable. But this is another point. Man, I got so much going through my mind right now. Woo! Y'all that don't know me, you just gotta bear with me, somebody. Bear with a brother. But so many areas of, like I said, jobs. Some people give their hearts to their jobs.
Yeah.
I got a buddy I talked to this week on the phone. This man works 7 days a week. I mean, he's making a fortune though, because he does, what did he say, 220?
He did 2,500 transactions last
He
year.
did 2,500 transactions last month, on average 5.
Last year.
Last year. $500 to $600 a transaction. You do that. He's killing it. But he's worked 7 days a week. His entertainment is work, closing deals. That's all he does. So that's where his mind is. So some people, their hearts is in their jobs. We know that we can't be there. Other people, jobs or careers, because professional people, if you tell them they got a job, they're going to be offended. So I put jobs and careers. Second big place is our families. Most of us in here, we give our hearts to our families. But some of our families, let's be honest, they don't deserve it. Because all of us in here got some old shiesty family. And I know it might not be something you want to hear. That they're shady, they don't do stuff right. They don't care about you. Then they've shown you over and again, I don't care about you. You know, to do something wrong to somebody and know you're doing wrong and then do it anyway, they show that they don't care about you. So we need to be open and honest with ourselves first, guys. Because a lot of the hurt that comes is because we're not honest with ourselves. We think that, oh, I'm the savior. Oh, I can do it. Come on, somebody. Oh, I'm the man, right? I'm the woman. Da-da-da-da, Superman, Superwoman, right? That girl and all this other stuff, right? Y'all know what brother's saying is true.
It's true.
Because that's some of people's biggest problem. What I was thinking this week, that's one of our biggest challenges. Why we're so hurt. It's because we're trying to save and do everything for everybody else. Everybody else. Not letting them do it for themselves. Letting them struggle. Am I saying that you should just turn away? No. But you got to help people, but then you got to let them stand up. That's the same thing with a baby. You know, when our children were trying to walk, we let them stand up, we let them fall, because they got what? They got to get their strength, somebody. We understand that from that concept, but why can't you understand that from when they get 18, 20, 22? Come on, somebody. You got to understand that when they get 18, 20, 22, that they still going to fall, but they're going to get back up, somebody. Because you know what I'm saying? But if you're there as a mommy and daddy and always holding them up, what you're going to do is you're going to make them weak. You're going to make them where they can't stand on their own, somebody. So that when mom and dad are no longer there, they're going to be falling apart, somebody.
There you go.
Huh? They ain't going to be able to handle nothing, somebody. And the Creator didn't make us that way. He made us that we're self-sufficient. That our dependency is on Him.
Come on now. Yes, sir.
That's why He said, thou shalt love me with all your heart, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Woo! Yeah. You like that, didn't you, nephew? Yeah. I like that too. Hold on, give me 1 second. 1 second. Woo! What'd you say, Hess? See, my nephew's changing me, y'all. I'm big tough, Uncle. He comes over there to me, hug me. I love you, Uncle. I'm like, oh. I'm like, man, get out of my face, bro. I'll punch you in the chin. He like Uncle Junior. See, Uncle Junior's the same way. Big softy. You think he all big and bad. Oh, I'll punch you in your face. Plucky. That dude's plucky. Because he only weighs 5 pounds, 8 ounces. I tell him, you ain't got no hind parts to do nothing to nobody. You kick somebody and look at you. What was that? You ain't kicking no.
Oh my gosh.
You be there running with one of the big girls. I shouldn't have watched that, but I was watching this video, and this girl wanted to fight this girl, and I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm thinking, this don't look like a good idea to me. That girl she was a chunk, big, heavy-set black girl. And the girl was sitting there and said, look, I'm telling you, and when she came over there, that girl grabbed that girl and said, bam! I was like, woo! I said, that was not a good idea. Then when her friend came in again, she took her friend and just threw her. I was like, yo, they better leave that girl alone. I'm serious, these people are crazy out here in these streets. I was like, yo, that was not a good idea. Y'all better leave people alone. This is why it's important that we get healed, y'all. Because when you ain't healed, first thing you want to do is argue with everybody. You want to fight. You're full of hatred. You're full of grief. Because these are the signs. You're full of jealousy. You're jealous of everybody else. You're not happy that somebody else is in a healthy relationship. You're not happy that somebody's starting to prosper. If they're prospering and they're doing it the right way, you know that they suffer to get to that point. So why wouldn't you be happy about them prospering? It ain't like anybody in here had a father or a grandfather that left them $1 million or $100,000. All of us in here came from nothing, broke as H. So anything you get, you having to struggle, crawl, scratch, fight, right? So it's about being happy and thankful for the things that we have. Something that I think that we need to grab hold of, and it's that prayer of serenity. That most people that are addicts, they're taught to quote. And I read that this week, and I said, you know what? I think that that's critical, because what it does is it eliminates us worrying so much about so many things. Because it says, Most High or God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can't change. A lot of stuff that we're worrying about, we're focusing on, we're giving energy to, there's stuff that we can't change. I say it all the time, you got people right now that won't call this president by his name because they're so anti-this and Republican. I don't care what his name is. I don't care who he is. I don't believe in what he stands for, but I'm saying, he don't have that control over me. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know that he can't do nothing against me. I don't care what weapon he forms. That's what I believe.
Yes.
So I know that that's something I can't change. So when he was in power, whether Obama's in power, there's nothing that you can do to change that. Because to me, they've already shown us through their system that there's certain people that they're going to put in office when they want to, regardless of how you vote and what you believe. So that's something that's out of your hands, somebody. It's out of your hands, to me. That's just my opinion. But Most High, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change. What can I change? There's a lot of things we can't change. You can't change how tall you are. You can't change if you're handsome or ugly. You can't change if you're light bulb. Some people in Jamaica are starting to bleach themselves to change, to get lighter, but you shouldn't be trying to change your physical appearance. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy. You know? Grant me the things that I cannot change. Give me the courage to change the things that I can. See, that's important. We need courage to realize the things that we can change. And then because courage represents having an obstacle or something before me, but having enough internal fortitude that I'm going to take the steps. It don't mean that you're not fearful, but it means that you're going to start taking the steps to move in the direction to change the things that need to be changed. Because if it needs to be changed, it needs to be changed for a reason. Because it's not beneficial. Grant me the courage to change the things that I cannot change. I think this is a prayer that we all need to pray. Right. We need wisdom to change the things that we can't, or that need to be changed, right? And the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom to know the difference. So let's start looking at the issues that are coming up. If there's something we can't do, or we can't change, let it go. But the things that I mentioned earlier about our relationships, spirituality, sports, that's another thing, sports. There's one girl on my Facebook. She's a beast, man. She's a beast. We got the same team, but she's a beast. She be cutting folks left and right about her football team. And I don't say nothing. I don't put nothing out there. I just like put a little post and, that's my team. Oh man, she be going in, bro. And I'm like, shoo. She be cutting jokers' neck off. I'll be like, woo, man. But people have given their hearts to their team. Something else we give our hearts to is our possessions. All the things we own. If you buy a house, this is my personal opinion, you buy a house, you sacrifice to buy it. Everybody got to come there. When they come there, everybody got to take their shoes off. Come on, y'all, you can shampoo your carpets. What's it cost to shampoo some carpets? A couple $100. I can carpet a room for $300. I can get a guy in the house to carpet a room for $200 or $300. This is what I'm saying. We're putting too much emphasis on stuff that's not that important. Now, is that easier said than done? Yeah, I bought my new truck for the business. One of my sons, I won't mention his name, he's pulling something or did something, tore my back tail light off, and I'm like, God, oh my. Then he didn't stop there, y'all. We got to keep going. Then he's driving my dump truck, and somebody was guiding him, and I didn't see the thing in the way, and he tore my fin. Oh. It's easier said than done, y'all. It's easier said than done, y'all.
Yes, it is, bro.
So, All right, read that verse for me, Mark. I got to get there, but read that verse.
It's 1 Peter 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Casting all your cares upon him, the Most High, for he careth for you.
See this? Casting all of our cares. What are your cares? Your cares represent your worries. Because if we don't cast them on the Most High, we're going to hold them right here in our physical hearts. We're going to embrace them. We're going to act like this is something that's precious and near and dear to me. Most of us in here, we got to go back and we got to deal with stuff that happened as far as when you were a child, bad relationships you had, incest, molestation, whatever it was. That's all that stuff that's just caked up, pounded upon in our hearts. Abuse, physical abuse, been in these abusive relations. You got to go and cast that stuff upon the Most High, because He's the only one that can heal you. Abandonment issues, somebody left you when you was young, nobody was there that you could count on. All that stuff's got to be dealt with. Because if it's not dealt with, all we're doing most of the time is we mask the symptoms with drugs and over drinking and overeating and stealing and lying. And we talk about all those things, but to me, they're just symptoms of something that's greater, something that's bigger.
That's true.
Yes.
They say a lot of girls that are promiscuous were girls that were molested when they were little girls. So because they were exposed to that, therefore, either they overeat and they get overweight and heavy, or they go out and they're promiscuous, they'll end up being a stripper or whatever it is. And it's easy to sit back and point the finger and judge them, but you don't know where they came from and why they are in the way that they are. So a lot of times it's a defense mechanism. Because they don't know how to deal with what has happened. Guilt, feeling like it's my fault that such and such happened. Not realizing that if it happened, it's not something that we should glory in, but it's something that the Most High will give you the way to get through it, somebody. He'll give you the strength to get through it. This is why we started with cast your cares. Cast everything upon the Most High, because He's the one that really cares. This is why it's important that we get back to laying on our faces and crying before the Creator. Crying before Him. Say, Yah, I need you to heal my heart. Because my heart is broken. My heart is broken, Father. I need you. I need you to heal me, Father. Because if anybody can do it, I know that you can do it, Father. And most of the stuff that you want in life, it's going to come from us getting our hearts right. Most of the blindness that we have in our life is because blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see. You're not seeing what direction to go? Because your heart might have some cloggedness and some fog. Your heart ain't clear. So I got to get back before the Most High and put my heart before Him and pour out my heart and say, Yah, cleanse my heart. Create in me a new heart, Father.
Come on.
Renewing me a right spirit. A spirit that's acceptable in Thy sight, O Yah. I tell young people all the time, you want to get the things you want? You got to understand the marriage between our physical and our spiritual. Yeshua was just an example of that for us, so we understand that Jesus, for those that might not understand, was an example of the spiritual and the physical marrying, being in union. That's all that was an example. So we have to understand that part of you is spiritual. From your physical heart up is your spiritual center. From your physical heart down is your physical center. This is where all your basic needs are: food, shelter, basic survival, sex, basic security. But there's got to be a joining of the two, somebody. When you join the two, when you understand that the Creator made us so perfect, that when you think a thing, and then that thing becomes an emotion, you start feeling it, and then you know it in your heart, it's got to manifest. Whether it's good or whether it's bad. So your life, when you look at your life is a mirror of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're knowing. That's why the Creator said, if you will love me with all of your heart. He said you'll be able to speak to the mountain. We'll be able to speak to the mountain when we understand the match and the marriage between the physical and the spiritual. Everything won't be so hard because you're no longer functioning just from a physical level. Physical level's third dimension is low. You're too low to get something. It's got to manifest in the spiritual realm before it becomes physical. Come on, guys. I've been talking about this for a while. It's got to manifest in the spiritual realm before you put your hands on it. Before everything. Your child was spiritual before they were physical. It took a physical act. But that child was in the unseen. Spiritual realm represents something that's unseen, somebody. You can't see it. You see the effects of it. I'm just amazed at the way the Most High made us, y'all. I'm amazed. So when that verse says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and men understand this to an extent because they understand that if you can paint a picture in your mind, if you can get clear on what you're believing, then it's got to manifest in the physical realm. If you're diligent with it, every day like clockwork. If you see it, every day like clockwork, it's got to come to pass. Because these are laws. And the verse said that the Most High is not a man or like men that he should lie. I talked about this before. Something else we need to understand is that our physical hearts, they say from week 3, some sources say 4, that our physical heart is the first organ that starts generating. What they're finding is that we have a brain. We have a brain in this physical heart. And how that can be proven is a lot of times we'll get impulses down in our solar plexus or in our soul. And I said this last time. And that impulse will go up to our physical heart to put a feeling to what we just, so that's when you'll be somewhere and you'll get a gut feeling. You know that expression, a gut feeling? That's like your natural instinct that how he made you. You'll sense, oh, you know what, this is a dangerous situation. This is a bad person. This is a good person. You'll sense that inside of your body. So to me, we got to get in tune with our bodies and feel and knowing what we're feeling when we're feeling. And stop with, oh, I don't want to judge and I don't. No, you got to understand what your body is telling you. So once you think it in your heart and you think it in your mind, it's going to manifest in your life. Mark, did you finish reading that, or did you even read it?
Yeah, I wrote 7. You want 8 too?
I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent.
No, you're fine. Verse 7.
Are y'all okay? Yeah. Y'all okay?
Yeah.
Slap somebody high five and say, wake up!
Wake up.
No, slap them high five and say, wake up. I'm telling y'all what y'all need to do, y'all. And not only am I telling y'all, it's what I'm doing. You know? So I was telling them on the radio this morning, I said, I can talk to y'all about this without really having notes. I said, because this is what I'm doing on a daily basis. So it's not like it's something I got to look up notes. If you're doing something, you're going to speak from a position of authority because you already know you hit some loopholes and some bumps and some bruises, and so you know. So good. Read 8 more because I need.
It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the enemy, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Okay. Also, we talked about when we get healed, we're more of a person that's full of love, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion. These are all things that are critical. They're important because these are things that are going to get us what we want in life. You know, not coming from a negative. You know, what I'm starting to understand is when people talk about negative versus positive is very, very important for your physical bodies. It's another connection that I've seen lately. There's studies. I can even show. I pulled it off because when I saw it, there's a guy named Dr. David Hawkins. He did a study and he shows that when you're in places like shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, that what happens is our bodies function at such a low energy level that it just drains. So this is how it's easy for people to commit suicide. Because they're functioning in their lives from such a low place. This is why I said it's dangerous for us to function from just a physical level. It's scientifically proven and it's proven in the scriptures. That's why we're first natural and then spiritual. But when we're coming from a place of love, what they're finding is that if you can come from at least a neutral place, a place of at least somewhere like trust or kind of belief in your life. So that's why when people are coming from a place where they don't believe nothing and everything is, negative in their minds, that's not a good state to be in. Because if you do the test that they do, it's called a muscle test, where they can actually prove that your physical body will go weak. Okay, how big you are, your physical body actually goes weak from this. So, Deuteronomy 6:4. I just want to read a couple more verses, and then we'll be done. A couple more verses. So we got to ask the Most High to grant us the things that grant us the wisdom to change the things that we can and the things that we can't change. And the wisdom to know the difference. I paraphrase it, but y'all know what the brother's talking about, right? 64.
Hear, O Israel, Yahweh the Creator, our Master and Maker is one. It says, and you shall love the Most High, thy Creator, with all thine heart, with all your soul, and with all your might.
See, this is what we're called to do. Love the Creator with all of our heart, all of our soul, and all of our mind. Deuteronomy 12 and 13.
Deuteronomy 12 and 13. Take heed to yourself that you offer not your burnt offerings in every place that you see, but in the place which the Creator shall choose in one of your tribes, there you shall offer your burnt offerings, and there you shall do all that I command you.
Go ahead.
Notwithstanding, you may kill and eat flesh in all your gates, whatsoever your soul lusteth after, according to the blessing of the Creator, the Most High, which He hath given you. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof.
Mark, where you at?
You said 12, I was at 15. 12, I started at 13. 12, 13?
Okay, yeah. All right. Let me. Psalms 119. Let me move on from that. That must have been a long one. Psalms
Take
119.
heed to thyself. Is that what you wanted?
I'm not sure.
Like the Psalms?
Yeah, Psalms 119. LA, how close are they to ready? You don't know? Because I'm winding up. My voice is.
You want 119? Starting with which one? 1?
Yeah, one.
Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Most High.
Yeah, it's important that we walk in law, because law is the thing that governs everything. Everything. This is why it's important that we know what the laws are. Just like we know about gravity, we know about, whatever. You have to know what laws, because laws are what's going to give you the result that you want in your life. Go ahead.
It says, verse 2, blessed are they that keep His testimonies, and that seek Him with a whole heart.
See, the point that we're making here is that whatever we do it with all of your heart. I used to tell my sons all the time. One of them told me this week, he said, Dad, I used to think that you were just too much. You were over the top. You were extra. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not listening, because there's always an end to yeah. There's always something to tell me I was right, which I already knew. Let me stop. But and he's telling me all this. He said, yeah, now I'm starting to see. Because you have to. Because most people that you're dealing with, and if you're standing before people, 10, they are so dry, y'all, that it takes hell and high water to get them moving. Most people, when they sit before you, if you're doing something like, especially if you're talking or something, they're going to sit there and look at you just like this. Okay, what they going to say? First of all, they're going to size you up. That's why the first thing I do is I hit them right, boom, bam, I hit them with something crazy. So then they're like, oh, okay. And then once you hit them right here, hit them with something crazy that they wouldn't think a speaker should say. They'd be like, whoa, okay. Then they loosen up a little bit. Then you just keep working them. Like I did to y'all this morning.
Body work.
I did that to y'all this morning. It ain't no big deal. I'll tell you what I did after I did it. So you just, what was I saying? But you gotta get them involved. And the thing is that you understand is not everybody's gonna get involved to the same degree. Like everybody in here is looking, but Sierra's looking all over top of David's head. She's shaking her head. Some people just kind of sitting there and they're jotting and everything. But you know what? They'll go home tonight and they'll be like, girl, you know what?
Yes, sir.
You never know how people are learning, but you just gotta know that when you put it out there, that's
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm telling you.
I'm damn crazy, y'all. I know.
Yes, sir.
So where was I, Mark? Psalms 119 too.
Yeah,
See, I know where I
verse
was.
3.
Y'all need to pay
Too
attention.
good. It says that verse 2 said, and seek Him with the whole heart.
See, that's important, y'all.
Yeah.
We have to have, and this is why I'll tell young people this probably to the day I pass. You got to have the mutuality. You have to have your spirituality in conjunction with what you're trying to do. You have to. It makes it so much easier. I got a correction, like I said, not even a couple months ago. Within, I'd say 6 weeks ago. My mom come in, well, you're doing too much, you're doing it on your own, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. I said, okay. Because I'd gotten, and I talked about it, I'd gotten so burnt out with church. That's why, like even now, I'm here, I don't come from the perspective of, I come from a perspective of getting around other people that believe. That's more the mindset I come from. Being around other people that believe. Other people that are trying to better themselves right now. I'm not talking about some sweet by and by, and I'm gonna walk on streets of gold. I don't know nothing about that. Ain't nobody came back from the dead, and I can't verify that. I know that people tell us that, but then the same people that tell us that got a problem with the Muslims because they believe that they're gonna get 24 virgins, and they're gonna be rich, and this, that, and the other. So what's the difference? The virgin that's killing herself, or the Muslim that's killing himself saying, Allah Akbar, and doing suicide bombs, believes he's going to get 24 virgins and riches and then that, and you believe you're going to have streets of gold and pearly gates and the ramen of your soul and all this other stuff.
Yes, sir.
Only thing I know for sure is that we're going to see our people that passed away. That's the one thing I guarantee. I know for sure. Me and my mom was talking about that at when what's her name died. And what made me understand and believe, and one thing that I'm going to share with y'all, and it's powerful, is that when around the time when somebody in your family passes, that is the best time for you to connect with somebody that's already gone. Might sound a little crazy to some of y'all, but I'm telling you, because they're around. They're around. Because they come and get Aunt Maya.
Come on.
And I realized that when Aunt BJ passed away. Because when Aunt BJ passed away, she talked about, my mom came and visited me. This is what she said. And then I was shown in a dream, he said, you know what, Arnold? You got to go see her because she's waiting for you to die. Because I was out of town, I was traveling, this, that. My wife was a witness. And what I said is a lie.
Nope, it's the truth. It's the truth.
And the day, I think, or the night I went to go see her, and she wasn't even conscious. This is how powerful the Most High, I'm telling y'all, the Most High made us so powerful, y'all. And we are functioning at such a low level that we are not experiencing the fullness of life.
Yeah.
She wasn't even conscious. But I noticed she knew that I was in that room.
Yeah, she woke up.
So when somebody passes away, that's when Grandpa's around, because they're coming to get him. They're coming to get, oh, let me come get Maya. She knew Grandma and Grandpa, from what I hear, was coming to get her.
And that's really.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah,
That's what gives that person, because I was with MBJ when she transitioned, and I could see the different layers and the different ways, but it was when she was fearful at one point because of the death, and she knew it was coming. Then it came to a point where she would be looking up in the sky, and she had a peace that came over her,